Let's dive into the history of Rome. No dry charts or tedious dates, just facts about the money, discipline, and leisure of a common Roman soldier. The year is 15 AD. The Roman Empire is at the peak of its power. From the hills of Britain to the deserts of Syria, from Gaul to Egypt, all of these are domains of Emperor Tiberius. But empires are not built by emperors alone. They rest on the shoulders of thousands of soldiers, like our hero, a legionary nicknamed Corvus. Why a nickname? Let's clarify right away. A Roman name was an entire formula. Personal name, praenomen. Family name, nomen. And nickname, cognomen. For example, Gaius Julius Caesar. Gaius is his personal name, Julius is his family name, and Caesar is his nickname, the meaning of which remains unclear. Hairy or divine. Our legionary, inheriting his father's name, Titus Valerius, earned the nickname Corvus, meaning raven. Perhaps he was an observant scout, sharp-eyed like a bird, or maybe it hinted at his dark hair and piercing gaze. Corvus was born in southern Italy in Latium, into a modest farming family. His father grew wheat and grapes, his mother baked bread and prayed to the ancient gods. In his youth, Marcus knew his future held either the fields or the army. When the time came, he made his choice. Most likely, he joined the army. Voluntarily, yet inevitably. Conditions were generous. After Caesar's reforms, legionaries earned 900 sesterces, 225 denarii per year, plus an enlistment bonus. For comparison, a loaf of bread cost about 0.5 sesterces, and a liter of wine ranged from 0.5 to 1 sesterces. He traveled to Capua, a key recruitment center, and signed a contract with the army. Service lasted 20 years, extending to 26 by the end of the 1st century. But upon completion, legionaries received 12,000 sesterces and land. Sure, there were frauds, but our Corvus was a lucky man. Thus, he became part of an enormous war machine. Shield, scutum, sword, gladius, javelin, pilum, plate armor, lorica segmentata. He became a soldier, but first, a recruit. For 4 months, our hero underwent basic training. These were not mere drills, but his transformation into a Rambo of his time. Marches up to 29 kilometers in 5 hours with full gear, swimming, camp building, and training with oak swords twice as heavy as real ones. Sanitation and soldier care were surprisingly advanced. Food and water were meticulously checked. Medics, medici, served in legions, and field hospitals, valetudinaria, were established for the wounded. Camps were often located away from the front lines to provide quiet recovery for injured soldiers. Marcus received his ration: wheat, beans, some cheese, olive oil, and wine. Water was boiled. Legionaries ground grain and baked bread right in the camp. Each legionary lived in a group of 8 men, a contubernium. They ate, fought, and forged friendships together. They fought not for the emperor, but for each other, strengthening morale and fighting spirit. Many had no families, or hid this fact, until the reign of Septimius Severus, 1930 to 211 AD. Legionaries were officially forbidden from marrying while in service. However, many had families in practice, yet most importantly, they had their own military family, brothers in arms. Once a year, everyone awaited their professional holiday, Natalis Aquilae, the eagle's birthday. Although specific mentions are rare, legions celebrated their founding anniversaries and held ceremonies honoring their standards. Aquila. In peacetime, Corvus was never idle. Legionaries built roads and bridges, guarded markets, escorted officials, caught runaway slaves, and collected taxes. And hobbies. Corvus was a gambler. Cards, tabula, a precursor to backgammon, capita aut novum, heads or tails with coins. Letrunculi, a strategic game similar to chess, was especially popular. Gambling was widespread, so much so that certain games were banned, though soldiers always found workarounds. Yet fun always balanced fear. Disobeying orders meant whipping. Desertion meant death. Mutiny meant decimation. Every 10th man was killed by his comrades. A year later, Corvus went on campaign. Germany, lands of barbarians, forests, and fogs. Here, he first encountered death. Pilum at range, then close combat with the gladius. Strike under the shield, aim at the neck or groin, commanders instructed. Fear was everywhere, but retreating was worse. At stake, the Eagle Standard. Losing it was disgraceful, worse than death. Marcus fought neither for loot nor glory. He fought for the eagle and his comrades beside him. For bravery, soldiers could earn awards, phalarai, medals, armilla, bracelets, or even promotions. Some became centurions, commanders of hundreds. Yet most just aimed to survive. Many died from wounds, diseases, or cold. Others succumbed to drunkenness or accidents. Roughly half didn't live to retirement. But Corvus was lucky. He served for 20 years, surviving 3 campaigns, garrisons, and marches. His hair turned gray, his muscles weakened, but his spirit remained strong. For his service, he received 12,000 sesterces, a fortune, and rights to land. He returned to Latium, built a home and planted grapes, and started a family. In the evenings, he watched the sunset, gently stroking the blade of his old sword. He was no longer a soldier, but Rome remained within him forever. His grave wasn't preserved. His name faded from official lists. Yet, tens of thousands like him existed. They didn't create history. They secured it. We remember emperors and generals, but the real empire rested on those who marched in the mud, wore armor, built roads, and died anonymously. Rome wasn't just Caesar. Rome was also Titus Valerius Corvus, and perhaps he was the true hero.